welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I am a wife, mama, spoonie, and writer, and I mostly talk about writing and reading on this channel, but sometimes I throw other little tidbits in too. I am here today with a quick little life update because I haven't uploaded since December and it's now March 23rd. And even before that December video, I wasn't uploading consistently all the way back to the summer. So it's been a while since you've seen my face and have known what's going on in my life. So just a quick little update. Since December, I have read 20 books and March isn't over yet. So I'm guessing I'll probably have at least one more, if not two. So 21, 22 books in the first 3 months of the year, which is awesome. I hadn't written until very, very recently. January and February, I did no writing. And I mostly was just dealing with health stuff all the way from when I quit NaNoWriMo up until, well, I'm still a little bit dealing with health stuff, but definitely feeling better the past couple of days. So fingers crossed I'm over the hump and getting my life back on track. You'll have to bear with my growing out pixie cut awkward length hair. So yeah, that's what I've been up to until now. Health stuff. Lots of reading, spending time with my kids. They just had March break last week, so we did some fun stuff. And now let's get to the update about the writing, because after I film this video, I'm actually gonna jump into a vlog for you. Sort of writing, editing, querying vlog. I don't want to spill too much in this video because I feel like I should more explain it in the next video that I'm gonna film, like literally right after this. But I do want to talk about it a little bit because it's part of my update, the stuff that I hadn't filmed up until now. So for writing, some of you know that I do identify as a witch. I've talked about that in some of my previous videos on this channel, although I mostly keep that off my personal social media, like my Laurel Instagram account. I don't share a lot of my witchcraft stuff there just because I don't want to inundate people in my life who are mostly not witches with content like that. So I have a separate witchcraft Instagram, and that's where I put all that stuff. And some days it bothers me and I'm like, I should be able to live authentically as my whole self on my personal Instagram. And some days I'm like, nah, you know, like if I become a published author, you know, is an agent like gonna creep my Instagram? Is a publisher gonna creep my Instagram before anything goes through? And then maybe they're like really devout Christians and they're like not about witchcraft, you know? Like, so I don't know. I just feel like keeping it separate is probably the safest bet at this point. So I do. But this topic I have to talk about right now spans both of those things, witchcraft and writing. So I'm just gonna have to come out with it. I have been waiting 2 years for my favorite kids witchcraft publisher to open up for submissions. They make incredibly beautiful picture books for all sorts of ages, like ages, they had a board book initially for like ages 0 to 2, and then picture books from like 3 to even up to like maybe even like 9 or 10 years old, like picture books that are geared towards older kids too, which is very cool because older kids like pictures too. So all kinds of age range there of picture books teaching about witchcraft, which is so cool. And it has always been a dream of mine to write a witchcraft book, like an actual nonfiction reference book. But when I started buying books from this publisher and seeing how beautiful they were and how much the kids loved them, because my kids are so witchy, I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to write a picture book and release it with this publisher. And I have been waiting 2 years for them to reopen for submissions, because last time it was sometime in 2021 and I was like in the trenches with project camp edits, and writing a picture book was just not in the realm of possibility at that point in time for me. So I found out, it was sometime at the beginning of March, I want to say like the early second week of March maybe, so like 2 weeks ago, that they were opening for submissions in April. That's all I knew. And I was like, okay, like I have a picture book brainstormed and plotted and like pretty concisely figured out. And because I'm used to doing nano, I did fail this year, but I won in 2021 and 2020. I can write 50,000 words in a month. So I know that I can take this already plotted, already a lot of which was figured out in my brain in terms of the actual content, and write like a 500 word story in like hours, right? Obviously it needs multiple drafts, it needs critique and beta readers and revisions and all of that. But I was like, I can bang this book out, like no problem. So I did. I spent one day going through my plotted notes from previous times when I had thought about it. And I wrote the book, the story, in like an hour and a half, I want to say. And then I spent the next 2 or 3 days revising it. I gave it to my partner to read, and then I did some more revisions. I read it to my middle kiddo, and then I had my eldest kiddo read it and did some revisions. Yeah, and I was like, okay, like this is a good start. Like I feel pretty confident about this. So then I approached some beta readers, and I've received feedback from 2 of them. I'm waiting to hear back from 3 more. I'm hoping that feedback is gonna come in the next like day or so. So yeah, I wrote a picture book. The problem with getting beta readers for a picture book is that there's no pictures. So if you don't know about picture books, when you get a publisher, they provide the illustrator. Unless you yourself are a writer and an illustrator and you've made the whole book yourself, they will seek out an illustrator for their vision. You obviously can say, ooh, don't like that style of picture, but it's pretty much in the hands of the publisher. And with this publisher, I love the illustrations from all their books that they've put out. There's one in particular that I really super love. So if they did happen to pick me, I hope that I could say, hey, can we have this illustrator? Again, we'll see, right? That's jumping ahead just a little bit. So then a couple days later, they announced that they had some more details. They were gonna open on April 2nd. So then I actually had a concrete due date. And they gave some more details. They were looking for a shorter story this time. Most picture books are anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 words, and they were looking for something that was more like 300 to 600 words. And my book was actually 450 words, and I was thinking about adding some more to it to meet that sort of typical minimal word count of 500. And I didn't end up having to, because it's smack in the middle of what they were requesting, so that's perfect. I didn't want to try and like fudge stuff in when I really like the story as it is already, so that worked out perfectly. So I'm waiting to hear back from my beta readers. I don't know, I'm not someone who's written a ton of picture books and has a ton of beta feedback and, you know, is really experienced at this, so we'll have to see how it goes. Last time they had 50 submissions, and that was 2 years ago, and their following was much smaller. Their backlist of books was much smaller. They were a much newer company back then, so they're guesstimating there'll probably be at least 150 submissions this time around, based on what they're seeing on social media, and they only have like 6 spots. So the chances of them actually picking my book, I don't know, but all we can do is do our best and try our best and hope for the best, right? So that's what I've been up to. That's been my beginning of 2023 so far. And I'm gonna jump into filming a vlog for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking around. Bye, friends.